3 in these finals. He's outscoring Clay and Draymond, making nearly half his shots. Thompson has the 4th worst percentage through the first 3 games of a finals, and Green's struggles have been well documented.
You have to realize that time is not on our side anymore. Treat tomorrow as a must-win. Even though it's not a closeout game, it's still incredibly important to get one here. That was our goal the whole time, and they just outplayed us game 3. I mean, there's no way around it. And we're gonna, the best part about the playoffs is how you respond, and never underestimate the heart of a champion, and we have a lot of those.
All right, Jay, well, you just heard Clay say time's not on our side anymore. Do you think the title window is closing on the Warriors' big 3?
Yes, it's closing. They're getting. I would still give them probably another 2 years or so. But obviously, I think the health of Klay Thompson and is he able to sustain that healthiness is a question, considering he's had 2 injuries that have been devastating injuries. We've seen Steph deal with injuries throughout the course of his career, in particular 2 this year. The one he just had to his ankle, the one that he had to his ankle before against the Celtics and Marcus Smart that held him out for a period of time. Draymond Green has had back issues. I know we can factor health into a lot of teams, but as his team gets older, even though Jordan Poole has continued to ascend, and I do like their pieces of Wiseman and Kuminga, I just wonder how long Steph and Klay can sustain. But I would probably say, Stephen A., it's safe to say if you had a 2-year window, that this team can go for it again. But I will tell you, there are other teams in the Western Conference coming. We talk about what the Pelicans can be. If you add Zion, you add C.J. McCollum, who now works with us. You see them in their swing up. You've seen Dallas, if they add a piece. The Clippers are going to be a team that's going to be there. Memphis is going to be a team that's going to get better. There are teams that are going to push them and push the envelope. But I say another 2 years is safe to say the window's open.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the Warriors at all. I've already got them penciled in for next year's conference finals with ease. I'm not concerned, not even a little bit. The fact of the matter is when Wiseman comes back, you're anticipating that Kuminga will continue to develop along with Moody. Poole is there. He's in his 20s. Okay, Kuminga's 19. Moody's 19. Wiseman's about 21 or so, however old he is. Okay, so I'm looking at those 4 guys right there. I'm looking at Klay and Steph, but I don't worry about age with them as much as everybody else because they're marksmen. See, with somebody like a Russell Westbrook, whose success is predicated on an extreme and elevated level of athleticism, that's different. With Klay and Steph, not so much because they're shooters. And so what I mean by that is, no, Jay, are they going to average 30 or 28 a game? No, that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about you can pencil Steph and Klay in for 20 a night with ease over the next several years because they're shooters. And when you're shooters, it's about what you surround them with. So to me, it's about Bob Myers, it's about Joe Lacob, it's about Steve Kerr and the crew, assembling a squad that takes pressure off these guys to be so much physically, so they have the freedom to shoot without having so much of a load placed on their shoulders. If this was back years ago, and we're saying what the window is, I would tell you that's closing because Steph and Klay are not getting any younger. There's teams on the come up, and obviously your success is primarily predicated on that. But when you've got these other cats that can make contributions, that could give you solid quality minutes, and then you pair them with Draymond, Klay, and Steph, from a leadership perspective and obviously from a marksmanship perspective, I like Golden State's chances for at least the next 3 years. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, see, I'm with you on 2 to 3 years. Like, I think what they've done with how they've developed talent and how you have Jordan Poole, we'll see how they continue to develop Kuminga, Moses Moody. You talk about Wiseman. Wiseman is talented. He is long, he is athletic, and Draymond Green looks different.
People keep forgetting that.
Exactly. When there's height on the floor, that doesn't force him to be the primary 5 position. Like, it changes the scheme of how they play. But there are other teams knocking on the door in the Western Conference, so Stephen A. There are. They're coming.
Well, listen. If you want to tell me the Clippers, fine, because that's Paul George and that's Kawhi Leonard and with Ty Lue as their coach. You want to talk to me about that, I'm all ears. When we look at everybody else scouring the Western Conference, the bottom line is they're all looking for that next dude. Dallas has got to find him. Minnesota's got to develop him. Denver has to hope dudes are healthy next year. We assume they'll be, but they've been gone for a while themselves. You've got a lot of question marks. I'm saying the Golden State Warriors, with these veterans, when they were younger, albeit 5, 6, and 7 years ago, remember, they had the Zsa Pachulias and the Andrew Bogut's as their center. Not to disqualify them by any stretch. They were rim protectors. They could rebound. They were big bodies that could make a difference. Wiseman can ball. And this notion that Draymond Green is just going to fade and he's not going to benefit from having a guy like that at his disposal, you know what? That's something that I don't think that we should ignore. We got to keep our eyes on Kevon Looney because he played lights out in the Dallas series. But at the end of the day, I think it was Dallas or Memphis. But the bottom line is this. You look at him, he's devoid of athleticism. He doesn't rim protect. He does rebound. He knows the system. He's absolutely loved and adored by Steve Kerr, but you're going to need some athleticism on your front line. One of those people they already have in James Wiseman. I'm not worried about the Warriors moving forward.
Let me ask you this, and I know, Stephen A., you said they have a chance to win, two championships in the next 3 years, so I know you're all in on them. But who do you think has a chance to take the crown from the Warriors and really become the next dynasty in the NBA, East or West?
Wow.
I'm talking multiple championships.
Yeah. I still like Milwaukee.
Okay.
Look, Chris Middleton was a 50, 40, 90 guy a couple of times in his career. Mm-hmm. What he brings to the table, I think, is different. I think that's a different series if Middleton is on the court. Obviously, health is factored into all these teams. Boston's in that conversation as well. I think Boston will be knocking on the door, but I just don't gloss over the Milwaukee Bucks, Stephen A., and a guy right now in Giannis that is the best player in the world, in my opinion, and is essentially, if you surround him with the right pieces, if they are healthy, I love their system. I love their style in which they play. And I still think in the next couple of years, they have a huge window to win championships. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably say Milwaukee. Yeah. I'll go Bucks.
S.A.?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Jay. What I'm saying, however, is the same thing you could say to me about Milwaukee, I could say to you about Boston. Mm-hmm. Boston, if they win we said they were coming. If they win the championship, they have arrived. And there's something to be said about walking through that minefield, going through that danger zone and coming out on top. It makes you different because I've been there now. I know what to take. I know what it takes. One of the reasons we look at the greatness, we looked at Kobe, we looked at LeBron, we looked at various others. We were like, they're there. They know. We know what they're going to do because they've done it. And the moment doesn't faze them. And to see Jaylen Brown at 25, to see a Jason Tatum at 24, and to see how unfazed they are by the moment, if they end up beating the Golden State Warriors and winning this championship, understand that the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, will now next year be going against a different animal. They won't be going against somebody who's starving to get someplace. They're going against somebody who knows how to get there. Yeah. And that's a different animal. We got to pay attention to that. And that's why I say I get what you're coming from with Chris Middleton, with Drew Holiday, and a Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Boston, they win this championship, that's a team you got to look at and be like this.
Oh, yeah.
The East starts with them.
I hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
Not anybody.
I wonder how
and
much
they don't
longer
fear
Al
anybody.
Horford to play at this level. And, granted, Grant Williams, I think, can help a lot in that category.
Robert Williams will be healthier next year.
Yeah, true.
Robert Williams will be healthier next year, though. Keep that in mind.
We hope.